Hello, everyone. Today we're excited to have Jeff Monroe of Becton Dickinson on our YouTube channel. We're going to be discussing how Jeff rapidly deployed FreeQMS to help manage audit information and battle some long-running inefficiencies in a complex organization. Welcome, Jeff, and how are you today?
No, I'm doing pretty good. Pretty good. Thank you. How you doing?
Not bad myself. We're happy to have you as part of our FreeQMS Experts video series, and this is a series of short interviews where we ask some of our most seasoned users about their experience with the software. So, before we get started, why don't you give us your full name and how long you've worked in the med device industry and a little about what you do?
My name is Jeff Monroe. I've been working in the medical device industry since 1992, to about 4 or 5 companies, ranging everything from eye surgery equipment to dental implants to physical therapy equipment, and now with infusion pumps, where I work now at Becton Dickinson, or better known as BD. I've done pretty much everything you can do within the quality organization, from quality assurance, quality control, inspection, engineering. Been managers of those departments and calibration, and then eventually got into more into quality systems, to where I started using more of the FreeQMS systems for all the different elements of the quality system. So that's pretty much what I do now. Is I write procedures and implement these systems.
Perfect. So my next question was actually, how long have you been using EQMS systems?
Pretty much since by about 2000, so almost about 20 years now, where I've been either using or implemented several different systems for the again, for things like complaints, CAPA, audits, non-conformances.
Right. What were some of the biggest systems you work with?
Well, recently I did use the Agile system,
Right.
which is a pretty big system. Also, in the past, we did a little bit with Pilgrim software, and then others were kind of more specialized things like a complaint system, which I can't remember the name of it now, that we implemented. A couple of them actually that we went through at a company I was at previously. So again, some from the very large that cover all the QMS, to some that were more specific to, say, a complaint system.
Just there, you said that you focused kind of all corners of the quality world. What kind of roles have you held specifically in quality?
Well, I've been senior manager of, again, of quality systems or quality assurance managers, and then quality engineers in different capacities. But typically, it was always the quality system side. I never really the product engineering, except when I was manager. But typically, it's always been more of the system-related type quality.
As we know, you're not only a seasoned quality professional, but one of our most experienced users. For those out there in YouTube land, Jeff is one of the only people to submit FreeQMS feature requests, so good that we just could not turn him down. Jeff, we thank you for your feedback. What quality activities do you work with currently in FreeQMS?
Right now, we're using FreeQMS to track our audit system, audits, schedule, and then also the non-conformances, or you call them in FreeQMS, activities that get assigned to an auditee when there's been a finding in during their audit. Right. And we're also doing internal audit and external audits. We're tracking in the system as well.
Okay. And what led you out to kind of use FreeQMS for this specifically?
Well, I like the ease of use and the how easy it was to integrate. You just get a login and you're pretty much running with it. You don't have to install anything. The validations are already included. It's fairly simple to use, I think, or actually very simple to use. And so training in it is very minimal, and basically you're off and running. So that's the things I liked about it.
Yeah, I've used a couple of quality systems myself, and I know that usually the hardest part is the import process, just starting, getting everything up in there. And then, of course, training, because it's a brand new software, totally new process for however many people are going to be using it. So,
yes, some of them I've used. It takes several, I'd say, weeks to get, and maybe months to get.
Sometimes months.
If you're the owner of it, or the administrator of it, whereas this one is not like that at all. It's, within a day I was able to run with it.
Yeah. So how is the system currently making data more available than, let's say, how you had things set up previously?
Well, again, the data is all in there. It's easy to enter, and then to get out is really simple as well too. There's an export feature that will dump it all into a spreadsheet. So from there, you can import it into an Access database, which I do a lot, or also create a dashboard using something like ClickView or Power BI. which we're working on now as well. So that makes it really nice. And once you've done your data, you've cleaned out, like, not cleaned it up, but done some modifications to it. Broke it up into the different areas. It works pretty well, very well, I should say, with the getting it into those systems. It's easy to understand when you export it, versus some they come out pretty cryptic, and it's very hard to figure out what is what when you pull it out.
Right. So how has this allowed you to address inefficiencies in day-to-day activities? Do you find electronic management is allowing you to trend and highlight issues more quickly and effectively than before?
Absolutely. I know when once we dump the data into our repository and we have a dashboard ready to go, we can see immediately how many of our nonconformances are running late, what audits are in process being worked on as we speak, and how many are coming up in the future. So that all works really well.
Awesome. So it sounds like you're taking the data from FreeQMS and plugging it into other systems. You mentioned the
Correct.
exporting and all that.
Right. And those systems, again, are more like data visualizations that we would use
Right.
for people from QlikView, Tableau, or Power BI.
Gotcha. Okay.
Excel and Microsoft Access.
All right. So with this series that we're making where we're interviewing our users, we kind of want to get some feedback and like to ask you how you would like to see FreeQMS growing in the future, or any changes you would make, or something along those lines.
Well, like you said, I really like the idea that we are able to provide feedback to add fields when necessary, and you guys have been responsive to that. I think knowing that you do have to kind of not put in everything everybody wants, otherwise it'll be too specific for one group versus another. So I like, and again, too much and it gets too complicated. So I like that. I think that if we get to the point of starting to use it for our CAPAs and nonconformances, how they relate to the audit system, I think that's going to be really great to use if we can get to that point. So I think if we have the opportunity at BD to do that integration, we will.
Absolutely. Do you see web-based systems like FreeQMS playing an increased role in the world of COVID? Are people going to go electronic more than ever to work remotely, do you think?
Absolutely. And the nice thing about that is the not having to download the software to load on your machine. It's as long as you got a connection, you can get to it maybe on your mobile devices or on your laptop. And again, as we are being more remote, I think that's definitely a plus for the system. That and performance-wise too, it's as good as your connection. So I think that's a really good plus. It's not going to bog down the network. I think it works really well in that regard.
Right. And I can say from personal experience, I mean, the years that I've been doing quality, before that I was doing IT, and I mean, simple tasks like getting someone to download a whole software and configure it remotely is a hassle. And when you're doing that in a company with sometimes hundreds of people, that's a nightmare. So
Especially when rolling out changes too.
Yeah, exactly.
It's very hard too, and updates and whatnot. So it makes it much easier.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that covers it, Jeff. We appreciate you joining us today, and we really appreciate you using FreeQMS. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, not at all. I think just keep doing what you're doing and keep it simple, and I think it's going to work well for anybody that wants to do something like this.
Thank you. We're doing our best, and we hope that you enjoy your time.
Okay. Thanks, Nick.
Thank you. We'll see you soon.
Okay.
Bye.